One of the things that I hate about quote unquote hi-fi companies is when a product comes out and the company promises that it does things that it doesn't actually do. I'm looking at Fozzy. I'm looking at, just a number of cheap budget hi-fi companies that you can find on Amazon right now. Stuff that just breaks down. It doesn't fulfill the promises that it advertised. It just drives me crazy. But here is a product that I think does exactly what it advertises, and I think it's remarkable. This is the brand new KEF Q1 Meta. This is a bookshelf speaker with the source point UniQ driver. It's 86 dB sensitive. It's a 4 ohm speaker that can handle up to 150 watts. It's about 13 pounds. It plays 51 hertz all the way up to 20,000 hertz. And I think it's great. Let me tell you why. So it's $599. And I've had a few KEF speakers. Pardon my non-editing. I just have to get this off real quick and set it in place. It's $599, and it's one of 4 KEF speakers that I've had. I've had the KEF R3. I've had the KEF LS50, the original ones. I've had, what else have I had? And I've had the Q350s. Now, this speaker, I've used a few different things on this speaker. I have used this Arcam A25. It's 150 watts into 4 ohms. I've also used the Deckware Zen Triode. That's 2.3 watts. I have put this on stands upstairs in my office and used it with the Deckware. Not as a recommendation that I have. It's too few watts. The Deckware just doesn't drive the speaker well. It sounds thin. The speaker just sounds dead with it. But with this Arcam with 150 watts, chef's kiss. Now these speakers, one thing that I've always looking for in my bookshelf speakers are speakers that can handle being put in crappy locations. I put these in the exact same location that I put the KEF Q350s, and where the Q350s had about 75 watts put into them with a Rotel amp and then some Riga amps. There were some high resonances that were audible above 90 dB, and a lot of you said, your speaker placement sucks, your amp sucks. Sure, whatever. That might be true. It's possible, right? But this is real life. In this location, putting them on these open back bookshelf speakers kind of near a corner, these sound shockingly good, even at loud volumes above 90 dB. I mean, these can handle peaks up to over 100 dB. It's remarkable for a small bookshelf speaker. But we'll get into that. So aesthetically, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference between this, or at least most people are not gonna be able to tell the difference between this speaker and the KEF Q150 that you can get on sale right now for about $349, sometimes $299 if you know where to look. This is a vinyl wrap that has some texture on the vinyl wrap. Like I said, it comes with, where the previous ones you had to buy the grills separate, this one actually comes with the grills included. This is rear ported. This is a solid plastic port, where the LS50 has like some flexible-ish rubber on the inside. This is solid plastic throughout. Got 5-way binding posts that can accept banana, they can accept spades, they can accept bare wire. I don't know what the 5 ways are, but this is what they call it, a 5-way binding post. You have plastic enclosure here, plastic. Aesthetically, incredibly similar, if not exactly similar. It's come in black, white, and walnut. The UniQ driver, you have your aluminum dome tweeter, you have your mid-range, you have your woofer, you have your driver that is a source point that in theory is great for near field listening And that's actually why I bought these. But like I said, this doesn't pair well with a Deckware, and that's what I use upstairs. So I put them in my main system, and I have been very pleasantly surprised. The tweeter, the highs, the treble of this speaker. Now this shouldn't be surprising, right? This is an aluminum dome tweeter. It's metallic, it's a metal tweeter. This is what happens with metal tweeters. You do get a little bit of a metallic sheen on it, like a slight twinge. Like if you listen to Ben Harper's song, Walk Away, you know that song is being played with an acoustic guitar, but there is a little bit of a sheen put on it that makes you think, ooh, maybe it could be electric. It's not. It's not. You know it's not. It's not. But the aluminum dome tweeter here is pretty standard with what the sound is going to be with the treble. Mid-range, this is not a pronounced mid-range. This mid-range is solid. It seems pretty linear to me. Linear meaning that it doesn't like become obtrusive in compared to the bass or to the treble. It stays pretty solid throughout. You're not going to tell much difference. It sounded great. The bass, well, mid-range, let me go back to mid-range for 1 second. Mid-range songs, and that's where the heart of the music is for me, right? Like Tori Amos's cover of Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, the piano, the vocals of women's voice, of Tori's voice in that song, $599, it's good. Do I prefer the metallic sheen of this? It's not necessarily my preference, but it's not surprising either. It's great. The bass. I am using this with my Bowers & Wilkins DB4S. This does need some bass support. 51 Hertz, yes, it does do into the 50s or 60s, but I don't count on it under 80. It's just the reality. It's a small bookshelf speaker. It's like 13 inches tall. It weighs 13 pounds. Now, I've said that I like it here on my bookshelf. True. But I also want you to know that when you play this loud, you put your hand on this, you are going to feel resonance on the speaker. You're going to feel vibrations. This is not a speaker that is, I don't know if you can see it on the inside. Maybe. I don't see any damping on the inside. If there is, I just can't see it. I don't think it's well damped. So you can feel the vibrations, but I genuinely think you can't hear the vibrations. And I think that's because of the metamaterial, which is like that basket behind the driver. It's in the basket, but it's like behind. If you look it up on Kef's website, you'll see what I'm talking about. I do think that the metamaterial actually does make a noticeable difference between this speaker and the Q350 that I've heard and the LS50 that I've had. I've had both of those, and the R3 for that matter. It's shocking how loud this little speaker can get. I didn't hear it break up. I had 100 dB peaks on this with my Arcam, and it was still great. Things that I would knock this speaker on, I'm not going to knock this speaker. It's $599. I think the closest comparison of any speaker that I've had in-house is the ELAC UB52, the Unify 2.0s. I think that's a very similar speaker that deserves to be compared to this. And they are, I think, the exact same price. Maybe this one's $100 less. I can't tell you which one I would choose. It might come down to where the port is, where the UB52s are front ported and this one is rear ported. This speaker, is it better than my Wharfedale Diamond 225? I prefer the Wharfedale Diamond 225. I think it's built better. I prefer singer-songwriter music quite a bit. I mean, you're talking, I've mentioned Ben Harper, we're talking Gregory Alan Isakov, we're talking Patty Griffin. There's, oh gosh, I can never think of the guy's name, but Julia Roberts' old boyfriend, he did a song called Road to Ensenada. There's a bass pedal in that song that overall this speaker sounds really good on. That bass pedal is a bass monster. Any texture that you find, if you find that your speaker and your subwoofer combo plays that well, you have a great speaker. You have a great system. This by itself, that bass texture in Road to Ensenada, Lyle Lovett, that's his name, Lyle Lovett. In Lyle Lovett's song, Road to Ensenada, this doesn't play that bass texture in Road to Ensenada, but with the subwoofer, it's all there. It's probably my bass test. It's not your typical one. Some people are going to give you Lil Wayne's song "A Milli" and say, ooh, does it play the bass? Cool. Yeah, it's a brutal bass song. But I really, for my preferences, Lyle Lovett, that Road to Ensenada song is ridiculous. So would I get this over the Wharfedale Diamond 225? You can get the Wharfedale Diamond for $299 right now from Music Direct. This is $599. But here's the thing. That Wharfedale Diamond, while I think it's better built, it is designed for music like that I like, that singer-songwriter. This, $599 if you like David Guetta and Sia's song Titanium. If you like techno, if you like, I don't know, I mean, it's going to do a lot of music really, really well, but honestly, I could live with this speaker forever. I don't care if you're comparing it to my CSS Crichtons. I don't care if you're comparing it to the Martin Logans that I've had. I think I could live with this speaker for a very, very, very long time and be very happy with it. I don't think it requires that you wait for it to go on sale. I think $599 is a great price for this because it does everything it says it's going to do, minus maybe the 51 hertz for bass. But that shouldn't come as a surprise to you. This is KEF we're talking about here. Unless you're spending way more money, that bass is going to require a subwoofer, and that's okay. Put this with an RCam, amazing. You want something a little warmer? Get a Riga. Riga is going to be a little bit more of a warm amplifier, and that might solve some of the metallic sheen that I was talking about. But I've been really happy with RCam. I have not been happy with this with the Deckware. I don't think it requires bookshelves or speaker stands, but it probably helps with the resonances a little bit. But I really think the Meta does a phenomenal job. That absorption material, I didn't believe the hype, but I believe it now. I really think this makes a significant improvement on what I heard before with the R3, the Q350, and the LS50. I'm really happy with it. It's a black speaker. Could you pick it out of a lineup of 7 other black speakers if you're not an audiophile? You're probably not going to notice one way or the other. Most people are not going to point out, oh, you have a source point speaker. But for $599, I think this is a bargain. If you find it on sale, absolutely get it. But for $599, you're getting a good speaker that's going to last you a long time. Is it going to replace my Wharfedale Diamond 225s? Nope. But that's because of the music that I like listening to. All right. Appreciate y'all watching. If you want to listen to one song today that I think is a little bit apropos, listen to the Smiles song, you know, the band with Tom York and Johnny Greenwood from Radiohead. Listen to the song We Don't Know What Tomorrow Brings. And listen to it on this speaker, or listen on any of your speakers. Listen to it on your sound system. It's a marvel. It's a little maybe too on point for today. But all that being said, go vote. If you're in America, go vote. Shoot, if you're anywhere, go vote. We want this to be a better place every single day. We want to leave it better than we found it. And a lot of us disagree on how to do it, but guess what? If you don't vote, you're not giving your voice. And every single one of you deserves to be heard in a respectful, kind way. Okay, care for your neighbor. I'll talk to you later.